So I had originally intended to make this video yesterday. I did do a recording, but now I'm going to remake it because I just didn't feel I wasn't looking or searching for a feeling, but I noticed that I didn't have the unction or the leading to upload what I had recorded. So I'm going to have a retry right now. And I want to talk about why I am disassociating myself from quote Christianity. And let me just say off the rip that I am not a quote Black Hebrew Israelite unquote, because people they try to make that into a religion or um, a certain doctrine, and really it's no more a religion than being quote black is a religion. Because it is a ethnicity. It is it's a lineage, not a religion. So if I say I'm a black Hebrew Israelite, not even a black Hebrew, if I'm an Israelite or Hebrew, that's not me saying anything about a religion. You can be atheist and still be a Hebrew Israelite. That's just your lineage. Now, of course, you won't be counted for the seed, as in the Most High isn't going to count you for Israel, but I mean that is still your bloodline. It just means that when it comes down to it, and you stand before Him, He's not going to recognize you as one of His. But so anyway, Kanye was putting this out, and they started coming after him and making it out to be like he was being anti-Semitic, even though he can't be anti-Semitic because the definition of Semitic is to be Afro from an Afro-Asiatic people group, such as the Arabs or the Hebrews, or uh, I forgot what the other group was. And so I guess that includes the language as well. The language is spoken by those people. So for those Jewish people who have come to my channels in the past and accused me and others of being anti-Semitic, that doesn't make any sense, because, or also accusing us of cultural appropriation, that doesn't make any sense, because we are the Afro-Asiatic people, and while we may not speak the Afro-Asiatic language anymore, we are still the Afro-Asiatic people, while you are European converts who are really guilty of the cultural appropriation. But back to the problem with Christianity, and as why most people have probably turned off this video already, is that Chris, Christianity, I used to hear that Christianity was the white man's religion. And while I understood why they were saying that, it isn't really as clear to me. It wasn't really as clear to me as it is now exactly why it is the quote white man's religion. It is because racism is baked into the doctrine. It's not just sprinkled on top or added to the top. It is baked into it. And if you really, really get into what the churches teach and what they have passed down as doctrine, then you will see that the racism is there. You need to ask whoever you listen to, or your pastor, your teacher, or whatever. Say, what is the origin of black people? Where do the so-called African Americans come from? And you're going to get one of these four racist theories. They are either a pre-Adamite race, pre-Adamic race, or the children of Cain, the seed of fallen angels, or they are of the curse of Ham. Those are going to be the four theories, and none of those things are biblical, and all of those things can be disproven. But that is the baked-in racism, and the idea is that as it has been reinforced through television, movies, books, whatever else, pictures, statues, paintings, the idea is that the white man is actually the um, the race, the peculiar people, quote unquote, and that they are the master race, essentially, the master race meant to rule and reign on this earth. And you really, the thing is, so many people don't want to speak openly about it. But if you manage to touch that nerve, it comes out. The truth of what they believe comes out, and you see that it's not just a limited amount of people who believe it. And the fact that many people have already turned this video off is proof that even if they don't acknowledge it openly, they believe it in their heart, and that there's something deeply offensive to them about African Americans, so called, being of the tribes of Israel, of the specifically the tribe that is in the land of their captivity, America right now, being the tribe of Judah. They have a serious they take a serious offense to that. And I was challenged to, somebody said that I was hiding on YouTube and I was afraid to put my stuff on BitChute. So I said, okay, I'll do that, right? I put my stuff on BitChute, and I did that. And first day one, I was called an N-word 3 times in one comment. They commented again, calling me a mudblood. Someone else called me a two-legged beast. Another person called me darky. And the person who challenged me to go to BitChute in the first place, saying that I would be destroyed there. Like, no, they're not destroying. Nobody's destroying me. They're just attacking. They're just showing their racism. And nobody is bringing any actual Bible to prove what they're saying. They're just bringing their opinion, because what I have shown in my videos from the Bible is pretty much irrefutable that Israel is supposed to be in the land of their captivity in the last days. And so they're also trying to say, well, the quote, the Jews have led them away captive or something like that. And I'm like, no, no, that's not. It's not figurative. All right, it's literal. It's literal captivity. So this I know a lot of you have a real disconnect, or let's say a cognitive dissonance, when it comes to issues and things that the black people have suffered in America for 400 years. And there is the refusal to come to terms with these things. They turn the blind eye. It's blissful, willful ignorance. They ignore the fact that lynching has been legal for hundreds of years. Black people haven't been able to just build in their own communities without having a plane drop bombs on their neighborhood and destroy what they're building, and the unequal weight of the law being applied to them. And so, like, there's just a lot of the Bible. You have to understand the Bible is so true and so literal when it talks about the affliction that Israel is under for 400 years in the land that is not their own. And the Most High said he is going to judge that nation. So judgment is coming. And a lot of people's hearts are being hardened like Pharaoh's, because they refuse to look at their own sin. They refuse to look at what has really happened objectively. Now, I know that the Most High has opened some people's eyes, and he has chosen those people for salvation. He has chosen those people to avoid the plagues that are about to hit. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, because the Israelites were sojourning in Egypt for 430 years. So I don't even know if we're going to be here for 405 years or if we're going to be here for 430 years. Who knows? But I hope it doesn't take that long. But I am expecting a second Exodus to begin. And I don't even know if that's going to happen before bombs start dropping or after. But a second Exodus is going to happen. Our regathering will happen, not gathering in the land of our captivity, but gathering from the land of our captivity as some of these people who claim that white people are God's chosen, that they are the tribes of Israel, and they said that God is gathering them in where they are right now, which is not the land of the captivity. No, the Bible said he will gather from and bring them back into their own land, right? And that happens when they repent. So they don't fit the curses. They don't fit the Bible prophecies, and I have shown that. And all they do is throw insults at me and use dehumanizing language. Like I said, we're probably still 3/5 of a human by the law in America, and that was completely spiritual. That was not based on science at all. They based that completely out of satanic hatred. And I don't want to really be associated with a religion that makes me either the seed of Satan or cursed, like by the color of my skin, like the curse of Ham or whatever, or a pre-Adamic race that I was created to serve the white man and stuff like that. I'm not gonna be a part of anything like that. All right, and when you like, here's another thing: when somebody heard that I was or somebody realized that I believed that the Israelites were black, they said they were disappointed that I was a quote black Hebrew Israelite. But like, what are you disappointed for? Would you be disappointed if I was white and I said I was an Israelite? No, you wouldn't be. And there's that racism again coming out, even though you may not even realize what you're saying. But that's racist. Like, why would you say you're disappointed? But you wouldn't say that to anybody else. And some people say, well, the Hebrew Israelites act like they're better than everybody else. They're hateful. Well, who did they learn it from over these last 400 years? We can't just act like they just got it from nowhere. Proverbs 3, I believe it's 3:31 says, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. But this is what people are doing, because this is learned behavior. They are envying the oppressor and choosing his ways. So really, they're just holding up a mirror to what was done to them. When you see them being vile and just offensive and racist and all this other stuff in the street, you have to understand, like, it wasn't even 100 years ago. We couldn't drink at the same water fountains. We're still getting lynched, falsely accused. Emmett Till's false accuser still hasn't been arrested yet. She's still alive. They know she lied. She still hasn't been arrested. The only reason the sheriff said he didn't arrest her is because she had children and he didn't want to bother her. But what about the mother who had lost her son by being falsely accused? And if you've seen the open casket of him, you've seen they brutally murdered that young boy. And all this injustice has gone on, and yet you get offended because the Hebrew Israelites are mean in the streets. They're mean and they're racist. And like I said, not even 100 years ago, we couldn't even sit in the same restaurant. And there are still places where you can't go after sundown, the sundown towns. You can still get lynched. A boy was lynched when I was in high school, when I went to Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, for not even a whole year. And my classmate died mysteriously, dating a white girl. And I mean, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going back up north, and I left. I told my dad down there, and I said, I'm ready to go home. And I went home. I went back up north to Michigan. And so, and while I was down there, I was called a niggerachi to my face because I'm light skinned. So the white girl called me a niggerachi. And so I'm like, we, like a lot of, like I said before, a lot of white people have cognitive dissonance where they don't know, they have a disconnect between reality. They don't know the stuff that's actually happening with black people. They live in a bubble, and they tell black people that everything is all right. They tell themselves that everything is all right, while holding racist beliefs and saying racism doesn't exist, gaslighting us, and believing in this doctrine that teaches that we're either or that we're all basically satanic, basically. So I need to bring this video to a close, and I need to get back to work. I would like to thank you all for listening, and to those who do the will of our Father in heaven, I pray that the Most High blesses you in the name of His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.